Have you ever stopped to ponder the far-reaching effects of taxation on our society? Taxation, a term we're all too familiar with, is a crucial instrument that fuels the engine of our state. It's not just about money changing hands from citizens to the government. It's about the power that comes with this financial control. Now let's delve a little deeper into the power dynamics that taxation brings into play. The power to tax is a key that unlocks the door to the growth of the state. It's a tool, a lever if you will, that the rulers can pull to expand their influence and reach. This power, however, isn't always used for the collective good. It's important to remember that rulers are individuals with personal wants and incentives that may not align perfectly with the preferences of the taxpayers. Imagine, if you will, a ruler who has the power to tax at their disposal. They could potentially use this power to fulfill their personal desires or to maintain their position of power, rather than to serve the needs of the people. This could lead to a decrease in overall happiness for those who are taxed, as their hard-earned money may not be used in ways that benefit them or align with their values. The power to tax also has the potential to create a division between the rulers and the ruled. The rulers, with their power to tax, may find themselves at odds with the taxpayers, creating a sense of us versus them. This division can foster resentment and dissatisfaction among the population, leading to social unrest and instability. In essence, taxation isn't just a financial transaction. It's a power dynamic that has far-reaching implications for the state and its citizens. It's a delicate balance that needs to be maintained with the welfare of the people at its heart. The power to tax is not just about money, it's about control, and that control can lead to some destructive consequences. What drives those in power to tax, and what does it mean for the rest of us? This is a question that has puzzled many. To understand this, we need to delve into the incentives of rulers, the individuals who hold the power to tax. At the heart of these incentives is the desire to increase revenue. This desire often leads rulers to increase taxes, an action that can have far-reaching implications. Higher taxes mean more money for the state, but it also means less money in the pockets of the people, which can stifle economic growth and personal freedom. Beyond increasing taxes, the power to tax also tempts rulers to borrow funds. This is often done under the guise of investing in the future, but it can lead to a cycle of debt that burdens future generations. It's like a credit card shopping spree with the bill being passed on to your grandchildren. And then there's the allure of wealth distribution programs. On the surface, these programs may seem like a noble cause aimed at leveling the playing field. However, they can be a double-edged sword. While they may provide short-term relief to some, they can discourage productivity and innovation and create a culture of dependency. But the incentives don't stop there. The power to tax can also lead to corrupt activities. It can create opportunities for rulers to enrich themselves or their allies, often at the expense of the public. It's a dangerous path that can erode trust in the system and breed resentment among the populace. Moreover, the true extent of taxes is often camouflaged. Taxes come in many forms, not just income tax or sales tax. There are hidden taxes, such as inflation, that can stealthily erode the value of your hard-earned money. This masking of the true extent of taxes can make it difficult for the public to hold rulers accountable. When the power to tax is unchecked, it can lead to a spiral of self-serving actions that harm the very people it's supposed to serve. So the next time you think about taxes, remember to also think about the incentives of those who have the power to impose them, because understanding their incentives can provide insights into the potential consequences of their actions. So, where does all that tax money go? And is it used efficiently? Picture this: you work hard, diligently pay your taxes, and trust that your contributions are being put to good use. But what if I told you that this is not always the case? In fact, the misuse of tax money is a widespread problem that affects us all. Rulers, or those in power, often have a diminished incentive to use tax money efficiently. After all, it's not their own money they're spending, it's yours. And this can lead to a whole host of issues. For instance, consider the countless examples of wasteful spending. Money allocated to projects that are unnecessary or overpriced, funds lavished on extravagant lifestyles, or resources poured into initiatives that yield little to no benefit for the public. But it's not just about the wasted dollars and cents. The implications of this misuse run far deeper. When tax money is squandered, it's not just an economic issue, it's a societal one. The funds that could have been used to improve education, healthcare, infrastructure, and other vital services are instead used inefficiently, or in some cases, completely wasted. This not only affects the quality of public services, but also the trust citizens place in their government. When people see their hard-earned money being wasted, it erodes their faith in the system. This can lead to a greater sense of disillusionment and disengagement, which is detrimental to the functioning of a healthy democracy. Moreover, this misuse of funds can also exacerbate social inequalities. Money that could have been used to support the less fortunate or invest in underprivileged areas is instead squandered, further widening the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So the next time you pay your taxes, it's worth asking yourself, where is my money really going? Is it being used to better society, or is it being misused, leading to a cycle of inefficiency and inequality? It's clear that the misuse of tax money is not just a financial problem, it's a societal problem. What happens when the power to tax becomes an endless cycle? Imagine a wheel that keeps on spinning, never slowing down, never stopping. This is what it's like when the power to tax falls into a loop, a cycle that seems to go on and on without any end in sight. It's like a flywheel that's been set in motion and just keeps going, driven by the motivations of rulers who see taxation as a means to maintain their position, their power, their control. These rulers, be they monarchs, presidents, or prime ministers, have a vested interest in keeping the cycle going. Why? Because the more they can tax, the more resources they have at their disposal. The more resources they have, the more they can do to solidify their power, whether it's through public works, military expansion, or even just lining their own pockets. The problem? This cycle isn't self-sustaining. It relies on the continued taxation of the people, the very individuals who are supposed to benefit from the government's actions. But as taxes increase, so too does the burden on these taxpayers. Their happiness decreases, their financial stability wavers, and their trust in their leaders dwindles. And yet, the cycle continues. Because for the rulers, the benefits of taxation outweigh the costs. They see the discontent of their subjects, the strain on their economies, even the potential for unrest and rebellion as acceptable risks. Because in their eyes, the power to tax is the power to rule. And that's a power they're unwilling to relinquish. This is the endless cycle of taxation. It's a cycle that, once started, is incredibly difficult to stop. It's a cycle that feeds on itself, consuming resources, breeding discontent, and perpetuating a system that benefits the few at the expense of the many. The cycle of taxation is a vicious one, with no clear winners and many clear losers. So, what can we take away from all this? It's clear that taxation isn't just a simple matter of giving and taking. It's a complex system that, when placed in the wrong hands, can lead to a cascade of destructive effects. We've seen how the power to tax, granted to rulers, can result in the expansion of the state and its potentially harmful acts. The personal wants and incentives of these rulers may not align with the preferences of the subjects they tax, creating a chasm between the rulers and the ruled. This gap can lead to dissatisfaction, unrest, and ultimately, a destruction of happiness for those who bear the brunt of the tax burden. We've also uncovered how this power to tax can lead rulers down a path of increasing taxes, borrowing funds, instituting wealth distribution programs, and engaging in corrupt activities. And perhaps most alarmingly, we've seen how these rulers may try to hide the true extent of taxes, leaving their subjects in the dark. The misuse of tax money is another significant concern. When rulers have little to no incentive to use tax money efficiently, the public suffers. Resources may be squandered, and the public good may be overlooked in favor of personal gain. Finally, we've looked at the endless cycle of taxation. Rulers, once given the power to tax, are motivated to maintain this power indefinitely. This cycle can be destructive, perpetuating the issues we've discussed and hindering societal progress. I invite you to think deeply about the effects of taxation and share your thoughts in the comments. What topic should we delve into next? Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful discussions.